Okay, so in the last segment, I showed you how to calculate descriptive statistics using Excel. So in this segment, we are going to walk through how to interpret the results. So these are my descriptive statistics. Yeah, the descriptive statistic. As you can see, the mean is 79.18. This is the average. It means that the typical student scored about 79 on the assessment. The standard deviation is 8.2. This tells me how spread out the scores are. A standard deviation of 8.2 means that the scores typically deviate from the mean by about 8 points. Some scored higher, some scored lower. Sample size, which is displayed here as count, is 50. So I have 50 students. That's good. I have adequate sample size. The minimum score is 52, which is the lowest score that anyone got on the assessment. And the maximum score, which is the highest score on the assessment, is 98. The range, which happens to be the difference between the highest and the lowest score, is 46. This shows a pretty wide range, suggesting that the students varied quite a bit in their skills. The median score is 79. The median is similar to the mean, which is good. This suggests that the distribution of the scores is fairly symmetric. The distribution is not skewed. That's good. Now, how do I report these results in my research findings? Let me show you the professional way. The students' technical skills assessment scores ranged from 52 to 98. In parentheses, equal 79.18, comma, SD equal 8.20. Full stop. This suggests that while the average student demonstrated solid technical skills, there was considerable variability in performance. Now, let me break down what I just wrote. Sorry, this is from good. Range from, when I wrote range from 52 to 98, I am reporting the minimum and maximum score. This gives the reader context for the result. Now, M equal 79.18. M is a symbol for mean. So what this means, or what this states, is that the mean is equal to 79.18. Always use this notation of mean. M for mean. M for mean. Always use this notation when you're writing your research. I also wrote SD is equal to 8.20. SD is standard deviation. So always report both the mean and standard deviation together. When I write about considerable variability, I'm interpreting what SD equal to 8.20 means in plain English. It means there were variations, considerable variation in the performance of the students. So this is the professional way to report descriptive statistics. Mean and standard deviation always go together. And then make sure you add a sentence interpreting what these numbers mean. I can also visualize the descriptive statistics with a histogram. The histogram will show the distribution of the scores. If I want to create a histogram, I will again select the assessment score. clicking on the first score, which is say B3, dragging it down to B52, so that once again I select all the 50 scores. Then in Excel, I'll go over to the Insert menu. Then I'll go to Charts and look at the statistics charts. Insert the statistic chart. Click the drop-down arrow and then pick a histogram. Click on it and voila. I have a histogram that visualizes the distribution of the scores. The histogram I just created shows that most students cluster around 75 and 83. Most students scores cluster around 75 and 83. A few high performance have scored above 90, and a few lower performance have scored in the range between 52 and 67. Again, you can see that the distribution is roughly symmetric around the mean. It's not skewed. This visual tells the same story as the statistic. Tells the same story as the statistic that we computed. The mean of 79.18, which falls somewhere here. And the range, the minimum is 52, as you can see, and the maximum 98. It also shows that though the students vary in their performance, most happen to be in the middle range. So when you report descriptive statistics, consider adding a visualization like this one. Like they say, a picture really is worth 1,000 words. So in summary, here is your workflow for descriptive statistics. First, you select your data. Then you use data analysis. Go to data analysis on your menu in Excel. Then choose data analysis and descriptive statistics. Get your numbers as the mean, the standard deviation, the minimum score, the maximum score, the count. Write them up professionally, setting that m equal to x, st equal to y. Always make sure that mean and standard deviation go together. Interpret what they mean in plain English. Don't use jargon or sophisticated English. Consider visualizing with a histogram or a box plot. A picture, like they say, is worth 1,000 words. Practice this with your data. Get comfortable with the mechanics of it. And remember, the goal is not just to produce numbers. The goal is to understand what those numbers tell you about your data.